What's up, what's up, what's up, my fellow creators? Welcome, guys. I hope everybody's having a phenomenal day. So, I'm laughing because I started a video and then I forgot what I was going to talk about. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember what I was going to talk about. Just being honest. And now I'm cracking up with myself. And so, yeah. What I want to talk to you guys about today is something that took me a long time to learn. And it kind of like just dawned on me one day, like, oh, okay. I'd heard of the term before, but I really truly did not understand the depth of it. So I want to talk to you guys about nice and kind. I heard all my life, you're the nicest person I've ever met, Becky. I don't think I've ever heard you're kind unless that's somebody's automatic response, you're too kind. So all my life I thought it was good to be nice because being nice meant that I was lovable. It meant that there's no reason people could not like me. There's no reason that people should, do some of the things that people did. But being nice means that you're going to attract people who will push those nice boundaries, right? And what I mean is that they will overstep you every time because they know you're not going to say no. You're going to say yes, and they're just people that do that because it's like, what can I get away with? And some people do it consciously, some people do it subconsciously. It's maybe a survival skill. Whatever the reason, it doesn't matter. Because as a nice person, anybody that has any empathy or maybe like being an empath, right? Being an empath, or they know how to practice true empathy for people too, because that is a skill that a lot of people don't have. Being nice, though, allowing this person to ask you anything and you say yes. And you think right now, that's not true. I would say no to some things. And yes, there are things that will cross your boundaries. There are things that you're like, no, I really wouldn't do that. Yet, sometimes you wonder, if I really put in that situation, would I? Okay, so nice people are the people who say yes to everyone else and no to themselves. Kind. Kindness is the ability to set your boundaries. It's hard to explain kind because kind is something you do from your heart. It's something that you do because you care, but not because you're giving up all your own boundaries. Is sometimes kindness means being able to walk away for yourself and showing yourself true love. So here's an example. People who work out. Have you ever met a person who has become so obsessed with working out, like they have to show up all the time? And how could they ever dare miss? Okay. They're putting an expectation on themselves. And they're like, the gym is turned into the nice person that they're always trying to impress, right? Whether they have another person in their life or not, it doesn't matter. It's just that the ego has now attached itself to this idea that I have to go to the gym every day, right? And people get injured and they'll still show up at the gym. And an injury is a sure sign of need to rest, right? And I've injured myself. I'm sure you've injured yourself. I'm sure, everybody here has at one point fallen and scraped their knee, okay? Or their elbow or their finger or, whatever. We've all hurt ourselves in one way. Accidents, but we have. And so now you're in this state of trying to impress that idea that if I don't show up every day, somehow that makes me less than. And so the gym calls. The gym calls, you feel the sniffles. The gym calls, you have a pulled groin. The gym calls, you have a sore shoulder. The gym calls, your neck just doesn't feel right today. Okay, and a lot of you are like, those are just excuses. Sometimes they are. But for people who've been on the journey for a long time, okay, you understand that you're human. And to be human is to rest. You know, some people, they're so attached to this image. But being kind is allowing yourself that day of rest when you injure yourself. Never said it was going to be easy. The idea is simple. But the fear of being called lazy, the fear of being told that you're not doing what is right, the fear of being judged in any one way, shape, or form is what constantly keeps you going. But what do you want? What do you want? Like, is there something else that you would rather do that day just because? It doesn't mean that you're not going to be active. But rather than going and lifting weights or running on the treadmill, try something else. Go out. Just take a leisure walk. You're still moving. Okay? And for those of you that don't work out, whatever it is that you've done for a long time. Well, maybe it's work and you've never called off of work, or maybe it's family and you've never taken time away from your family. You know, I give this example of working out because sometimes we just put such a high judgment on ourselves. And for those of you that keep saying you're going to show up and not working out, that's not being kind to yourself. Like, it goes on the flip-flop too. If you're making excuses, not to show up, that's not being kind. That's being nice to your ego, right? Being nice to that voice inside of you that says, I'm not ready, or I can't do it today. There's always a moment when you're ready. It's now. You have to start where you are with what you have and know that that's exactly where you're meant to be. That's what being kind to yourself is. It's difficult. It makes you feel like everything in your body is attached to this one thing that you've done for so long. Even spirituality. Right? Like, I gotta show up every day. If I don't show up every day, what are people gonna think of me? It doesn't matter. Why are you putting such high expectations on yourself that you wouldn't put on another person? And maybe you would, but you know, there's at one point that you're going to see that, hey, they really have to take time. So that's something that you have to observe in your life. To be kind is to be gentle, compassionate towards yourself. And if you're not, how can you start? How can you start saying, you know what, I'm just going to take this day and not feel guilty for what I'm doing? Okay, for those of you that don't want to get up and move your body when you know you need to, right? How can you say, today I'm not going to make an excuse. I'm going to do what I need to do because I know I can. Whatever it is, wherever you are. Too much of anything is a bad thing. Okay? And you have to really allow yourself to embrace the total possibility of life. You can't become what you do. That's just what you do. That's not who you are. That concept comes when you step away from being nice. You don't have to say yes to everyone else. You have one job: to say yes to yourself. Whatever it is. You want to enjoy that piece of cheesecake? Okay. Say you haven't had one for months. Go eat it. Enjoy every bite. Say thank you along the way. So it was a hard lesson. And I still learn it more and more every day. There's no just stop point. It's the more you expand your consciousness, the more you're going to understand. Anybody can be here explaining something to you. Anybody. But at the end of the day, you have to make your choice. Are you going to open your mind and your heart and just ask, what if? What if I'm being too nice? What if I'm kind instead? What if there's something more? What if? That's the truth. That is the biggest question you can ask yourself. Even if you don't feel like you're ready, something's going to happen that's going to show you the way. Because everybody's here to do something different. Whether you believe in a higher power or you only believe in the being of self, either way, you can still learn to ask yourself questions. Be kind. How do I be kind to myself? Because then you're going to see with your eyes things that will come to you, and it's going to remind you, oh, I did ask that question. Whatever it is. So ask. Be brave. There's nothing wrong with a question. And be open to the answer that you receive. Even if it's not what you wanted. That is okay, because that is part of the adventure. What else? And what if? Okay? I love you guys. And I hope you have a blessed day full of miracles and full of gratitude. Until next time, go forth boldly, my fellow creators, and courageously find creative ways to rise above in life, laughter, and love. Becky's out of the house for now. Until next time, y'all. Peace out. I love y'all. Bye.